Hello, this is Dreams with Jam. Thank you for joining me today. I thought we'd just have a quick discussion about this update, basically. We just got Sally. It's December 4th, and we got the floating islands. We've got item rotation. We've got a bunch of new Scrooge items. We have the new Star Path, and we still are working in Storybook Vale. So there's a lot going on, and I don't know about you all, but I am super overwhelmed with everything and kind of needing to take a moment before I jump in and think about what is it I want to do. So if you like this video, I'd appreciate a like at the end, or better yet, you could subscribe and get notified of new content. So let's discuss. And I'm just going to kind of run around and clean stuff up as we discuss this. So I logged in this morning, downloaded the update. Right away, I was really excited to do Sally. So I quickly did that, and she's lovely. I love her voice acting. I love watching her walk around the valley now. She's so graceful, and I don't know. I love how tall she is. I think she's just adorable. And it's nice to see Jack have someone. So yeah, I've been excited to do her. And then right away, my game's like, hey, talk to Merlin. He's got something for you. And then we were jumping to the islands. And then it dawned on me, oh, that's right. Now we have item rotation. And then it was, I forgot to check my Scrooge shop. I was too excited and didn't do that. And oh yeah, the Star Path. So I breathlessly, I found myself bouncing from one thing to another. And I thought, oh my gosh, where do I even start? Do I tear everything down? I mean, you can see I have this fairy build in my plaza right now, but do I move that? Do I keep my villager houses here instead and then move everything else up to a floating island? I don't know. And I thought I had a plan, right? I had a plan in place. I went and made a video about, what I was going to put where. And for the most part, that's staying true, right? I'm not really changing much of anything. And I think, what I originally said in that video is still important. And by the way, I will link that video to this as well. But I think it's important to make a plan. So list out everything that you have, basically. And we're not talking necessarily, I have 4 gazebos. I'm talking like we have Jumbo's Cafe, the Desert Palace, like the big ticket items. So houses, house skins, and what kind of biomes do I have? So I can now say I have the Sunlit Plateau. I have Sunlit Plateau floating, kind of make myself a list, and then make a list of all the villager houses, all the house skins, and then kind of come up with a plan of where those might look best. So, like we've always talked about Vanellope's house being really hard to place. Do I want to put her on an island? Do I want to keep her in Storybook Vale? Do I want to banish her to Eternity Isle, never to be seen again? I mean, those are the options we have right now. And I think it's important to maybe put a plan in place before just trying to start decorating. Because I think 9 times out of 10, if you just throw all the pieces at a board, right, and start in on something without thinking about it first, you're not going to end up with something that you love, right? Like, for example, I thought for sure I was going to keep my fairy build down here in the plaza. I love it. It's pretty. I like how it looks against this bright green grass down here. But then I thought about it and I thought, well, none of these houses belong to villagers. And then when I went up to the floating island and saw the space up there, I thought, well, maybe I will move them up and keep my villager houses here. I think it's worth a thought, right? Originally, I had made, so down here in my glade, I made this really beautiful build for the movie Wicked, right? So here's Galinda and the yellow brick road, and I loved it. And it was perfect down here with the little ponds and everything. And I loved it. But then I was thinking, well, I'm going to move Tiana and my New Orleans build up to a floating island, right? But then I went up there and I looked at them, and I just don't think that any of the available floating islands that we currently have would fit that New Orleans feel as well as my Glade. And so do I want to tear this down? Do I want to move, Tiana and New Orleans back into my Glade and tear down this Wicked build? Because, honestly, the only villager house that I put in this Wicked build was Sully and Mike right here for the college. But honestly, that building can go anywhere. It's kind of one of those buildings that you can slot in any place, anywhere. Do I want to put a city build somewhere else? Do I want to move him up into the forest here? I don't know. I thought I had a plan in place, but now that I'm seeing the floating islands and the space that they offer, I'm just not sure. So, let's go look at one. So, up on the Frosted Island, it is absolutely winter magic up here. And I thought, well, do I want to move Anna and make my little winter build up here, or Christmas? What do I want, right? And I love the floating island idea. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely adore it. But it dawned on me, am I going to be using these on a daily basis? No, I'm not. It's already kind of a pain in the butt to figure out, whoa, did you see that? That is creepy. Wow. That was really cool. Okay, sorry. I got caught up in that fog. So it's already a pain in the butt to find a villager if, let's say you're in Storybook Vale and you have to go back to the valley and talk to somebody, and then you got to go back to Storybook Vale because you moved their house there. And that's already kind of a pain. And I thought, oh my gosh, are we going to have to figure out if they're on the islands now too? I just don't know that I want to memorize Storybook Vale, Eternity Isle, the Valley, and 4 floating islands and figure out who's where. Until they've got to do better with the map and just show you where everybody's at without having to constantly travel and then hunt for people. I mean, if they did that, that would be a different story. But then, so back to what I was saying is I'm really debating, do I want villagers up on these floating islands? Or do I want just to use them for dream snaps? Do I want to use them for house skins so I can at least decorate and have the satisfaction of having them, decorated and out and not in my inventory, just wasting away? Because you spend money. I mean, you spend Moonstone on these house skins for the most part, right? And we want to use them. We want to see them. But the question then becomes, day-to-day play is affected, and how do I want to do that? How do I want to use it for dream snaps, etc.? Do I take half of this forest and maybe make it a fairy build up here, and then half I keep available for dream snaps? I don't know. I don't know the answer. But I think making a plan and sitting down and really thinking about how do I want to operate day to day? How do I want to use these islands? And where do I want my villagers and whatnot to exist? So, yeah, that's kind of the dilemma that I'm having with myself right now. And I'm sure probably some of you are too. I think the other thing I'm having is, we'll go to the Storybook Vale because I think that one will show what I'm talking about here. The other dilemma I'm having is I'm so excited about the rotation, but at the same time, I don't want to go in and then make everything look topsy-turvy. So you can see right here, like my Storybook Vale is kind of it's a neighborhood block, right? It's a street with housing and their own little yards and whatnot. If I go in and start just willy-nilly kind of rotating everything, like, ooh, this is fun, so I need to rotate absolutely everything in the valley. I really don't. So I'm struggling with that too because it's so much fun. I already started playing with it a little bit. Here, I'll show you. So I am going to be, and this is one thing I am going to be doing for sure. In my plan is I want to make this little area here in the Ever After. I want to make that an Enchanted Beauty and the Beast build. And you can see I've already rotated the castle into like this kind of corner with the path coming off of it in the purple. I want to enhance that and keep that. So I did do that. And then I did one over here as well. So like I kept Rapunzel's tower where it is. But then originally I had the Corona Castle here. And I don't know about you, but my mouse thing getting stuck at the top of the screen is driving me crazy. Let's go back. I'm just going to go up there. Okay, so I have Rapunzel's tower and the Corona Castle. And originally I had the castle just straight on here against the back. But I decided I think I wanted to put it on an angle a little bit and then into this corner. I just thought it looked really pretty. Like so. And then with this in the center. I think it just gives it a little bit of depth and some look to it. But then up here where I want to do my Scotland build, which I think I'm keeping the same. I'm not going to change that. I don't see myself needing to rotate anything really because again, I'm going to do like the kind of this main square with the two houses, the Snuggly Duckling back here. And then this is just a circle anyway. So there's no need to rotate that. Yeah. So I think taking a beat and maybe not running around and rotating quite everything in your valley and in your vale per se and on the isle, I don't think is going to be beneficial. I think you might just end up with things looking a little weird. So be judicious about how you're using that rotation and make sure that it makes sense for you decor-wise. Or if you're doing like an Alice in Wonderland build, maybe rotating everything is the answer. I mean, that could be really, really cool. So yeah, I mean, I think we've got so many new things and new fun things to play with and work on. I would be super interested to see what y'all are going to do. My plan is pretty much the same as in my previous video. I think the only thing that might differ is my plaza. I believe I'm going to have to change up what I originally was going to do with that. And possibly, I don't know, possibly the forest. Yeah, I mean, I might be using the forest a little bit differently too. Also, just food for thought. The islands cost 15,000 Dreamlight a piece. You get the plaza for free. I would say hold off on spending all your Dreamlight and getting, every single island and thinking, oh, this is going to be amazing. It is going to be amazing eventually, but if you don't have a plan in place, if you don't know how you're going to use it, if you, for example, don't really care about decorating that much, maybe don't spend all your Dreamlight on it right now. Maybe just use the plaza, see where you go with it, see what kind of things you think of or think, oh, I really, really want to make this fairy forest build. Then get the forest, then add that on. You don't have to go in any particular order. You can skip around, or let's say you want to work on the star path, this Frosted Fairy star path, and you want to get into the Frosted Island first. Do that, skip the forest and sunlit. You don't have to get them all. So I would suggest maybe just hesitating a teeny bit on that, and then go from there. But yeah, please let me know in the comments down below what you think, is a good plan for you, what you think maybe is a good idea. Share with others. Share with me. I mean, I will share with you. I will keep making videos as quickly as I can, but I would love to be able to share what I'm going to be doing. If there's something in particular based on my plan of action from the previous video that you'd like to see me tackle first or up, sooner than others that you're interested in, please be sure to let me know. And I will take that into consideration as I plan out what I'm going to be doing in the future. So I guess that's kind of it. It was kind of a meandering conversation, but I kind of just had to get it off my chest. I was feeling overwhelmed, and sometimes just talking it out helps just kind of focus a little bit. So yeah, I think I'm going to sit down with my pen and paper. I'm going to plan out my future builds here, figure out where I want everything, and we'll go from there and share with each other, give each other inspiration, and we're going to keep on dreaming. Thanks for joining.